What are you coding?
There was this hard leak, like it was rated hard leak code problem that I started yesterday and didn't finish in like 3 hours. But I'm pretty close, I think. Like I'm able to pass some of the test cases, so we're gonna see if I can pass it today. Let me go ahead and upload a link to that. Let's see. Am I sharing my screen? I don't want to share my screen yet.
No, not yet.
I have all these secret messages about all of you that I cannot share to the world.
It's a good thing you started recording.
What?
It's a good thing you started recording.
Yes, exactly. Well, I don't really care. I really hope that nobody actually watches this whole thing. I'm just kind of hoping I'll throw it out there and an employer will be like, oh, you solved the hard leak code problem on live. You might have what it takes to work here.
Somebody's going to watch it.
Yeah.
I always comment whenever I watch the videos, the Firebase videos. I try to comment when I can.
I appreciate it.
There's one that Damon does where Ahmed's in class. And I was like, I commented on the video and I was like, I don't know, that guy's a real know-it-all.
Oh my gosh. Hang on, I have to just clean up stuff. Clean up some stuff, you know. You feel me, bro? All that is on recording. I am recording already. I don't really care. Like, I'm not trying to be like super professional about everything. Like, that's not my goal with this. Coding is fun for me, so.
I don't think anybody would call you professional.
Fuck you. Oh, that's recorded. I just said that to a student.
Reporting you.
Let's see. I'll just bleep it out in post.
Yeah, you're gonna go back and edit.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not going to. Yeah, whatever happened. I don't feel like editing a 2-hour. I don't feel like editing 4 hours worth of content and looking for all the times that I said the F-bomb.
Whoever's watching this, I hope you're getting a really, really good first 5 minutes of content out of this video.
Yeah. No, this is the warm up. This is the mental warm up. Oh yeah.
You, Scott. I'm talking about you.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have a great time. All right.
Maybe someone named Scott will watch.
All right, time to talk about this problem. I'm not gonna go super deep into the problem for the reason of I already did that yesterday. And I don't know. This could literally take me 30 minutes. It could take me an hour. I don't know. I know that there's a problem in my code and I tested it, and there is definitely a problem. So I will do a brief overview of this problem, but it's not going to be as in-depth as yesterday where I was actually trying to figure it out. Sharing my screen. Cool. Looking at this, the concept is this. We get 3 inputs. We get n, which is the size of the matrix. We have lamps, which is an array of positions where lamps are turned on. We'll talk about what that means in a second. And then we have queries, which are the positions that we are testing for certain things. Okay? So let's start with this example. For example 1, there's 2 lamps. There's a lamp here and there's a lamp here. So one lamp kind of illuminates the other lamps as according. So this lamp, it illuminates horizontally, vertically, and also diagonally. Okay? So if this lamp is illuminating that way, this lamp is illuminating that way, then that means all of these things that are yellow, including the lamps that are on themselves, are all illuminated. Make sense? Not a crazy thought process, right? It's a lot to actually code for this. It just took some time to debug, make sure I got correct, but not a crazy concept yet. Then the next concept is what the strategy is we're looking for a query at a specific position. So in this first example, our first query is at 1, 1. Okay? So when I hit 1, 1, the first strategy is I look and I check to see, is 1, 1 illuminated? If 1, 1 is illuminated, then step 1 is I just add a 1 to whatever I'm returning. So my output, that's where I push this 1 in there. The next step is if there's any lamps adjacent to 1, 1, so all of these lamps in the red box are adjacent to 1, 1, or in 1, 1 as well, then you turn those lamps off, reevaluate this thingy here, as professionally put, and then now you check the next query. So in the next query, after this lamp was turned off, this guy is not illuminated, so that's why I'm pushing a 0. And since that's the last query, we're done. Okay? So to give you an overview of where I left off yesterday, I actually got this passes some of the tests. Not all of the tests. Passes the first example, it passes the second example, and it's breaking on the third example, and no, I do not know why. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to debug today. What's nice about the way that I've programmed this is I kind of used a whole lot of functional programming and also using Jest. So I have my functions, and they're fairly well tested, I would say. But I could be missing an edge case on one of these functions, which that's what's kind of nice about doing things in a TDD way, is that if I'm hitting some kind of edge case, which my first step is actually just going to be to kind of not whiteboard, but walk through the solution mentally before I actually do anything, because I don't actually know where to start as far as debugging this goes. But step 1 is going to be, I do want to show y'all just how things are set up. So basically what I have is if I input a matrix, right, this function called get cross indices grabs all of the cross indices. This function here called get adjacent indices grabs all of the adjacent indices. This function here called get diagonal indices gets all of the diagonal indices. To clarify what the cross indices are, I made one function to get the horizontal and the vertical. That's I think of crosshairs from a video game. So I had a sniper rifle or something. I don't know. Don't want to get too violent here. I have dropped the F-bomb 7 times already, but don't want to talk about no violence quite yet.
It's really disappointing.
That's what that function does. And then this guy just makes, so what this, before I talk about that one, I'll just do another simple one. So this create matrix function literally just does exactly what you would think. I give it a number and it creates a matrix of zeros. So it's just an n by n matrix of zeros. So they do specify in the problem statement that this is not rectangular. It's a well, I mean, it is rectangular, but it's also a square matrix. So it's going to be 5 by 5, 6 by 6, whatever. You get the idea. This Illuminate matrix function, which now that I think about it, I kind of want to move its place just for cleanliness. I think I like that there. I like to put spaces in between my functions in Vim because in Vim you can move from white space to white space. So it winds up being super convenient to just scroll through that way. I don't know.
You're not in Vim.
What? I'm using Vim bindings in VS Code.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it actually works pretty well. People in the Vim community will shit on Vim bindings in VS Code, but I think it works great. And I was doing NeoVim for a minute. Maybe Mark has some input on this. I'm assuming Mark has been programming longer than me, but I don't know if he does Vim.
I did Emacs for 20 years, so.
Oh, you're an Emacs person? Are we supposed to fight or something?
No, I used to be. I don't care anymore as long as it gets text on the page.
You still do Emacs?
No, not for a long time.
Oh man, I might have to request an Emacs class. It seems like Emacs is kind of becoming a little less relevant than Vim.
Yeah, I mean, I used to read my mail in Emacs, read news groups in Emacs, never left it. But
That's awesome.
I don't do that anymore.
What do you use now? VS Code?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have like Emacs bindings for it?
Nah.
Nah?
Occasionally I'll like revert to them like on a command line, but
I guess
just
part of me
burned it.
figured that if I learned some Vim bindings, I'd be good like CDing or SSHing into computers.
Yeah, that's
It's like-
exactly what Vim is great for, because you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be there and super low key anywhere you go.
If you are ever curious, the Vim bindings do work great in VS Code. If you're ever like, I don't want to learn Vim, but I just want to be able to not like, I don't know.
Yeah, if anyone out there wants to learn the basics of Vim, there's that Vim Adventure. It's like a little, it's like a little Zelda thing with Vim bindings. So highly recommend.
It's sick. That's how I learned it at first.
Yeah.
Cool. So so I have all these functions made, and now I just gotta. What I'm gonna start off doing is I'm literally just gonna walk through an edge case. So the case that's breaking right now is in this. It's going a little slow. The case that's breaking right now is my grid illumination is like the overall function that does everything. Let me show you what Illuminate matrix does first, because I think that'd make things a lot easier to follow along with what's going on. The purpose of this Illuminate matrix function is like, let's say my matrix is, I don't know, I'll just make an array of zeros. Here, I'll do like a const matrix equals, let's just say I have 4x4 or something like that. This should obviously be bam, bam, and also I need to expand that out.
Will that be 1x4?
What?
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry, you're not done.
I'll do 5 actually. I think it'll be easier. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. Cool. Is that 5? That's 6. No, that's 5. I'm done. All right, cool. So let's say that I have an Illuminate matrix. So the goal would be like, let's say what this does is it calculates what like the illumination grid would look like. So basically if I like, let's say I put a lamp here, what it would do is it would calculate, oh, okay, there's going to be something here, here, here. It's going to get this whole horizontal axis. It's going to get this whole vertical axis. It's going to get this whole diagonal axis, right? And it's going to do all of that. This is like basically what that Illuminate matrix method does. It also says, oh, okay, let's say Illuminate matrix doesn't take in, it does not take in one point. It takes in an array of points. So maybe that was the first point and the second point is here. So then now what it would do is it would add it here, 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 and then let's see, it needs to get this diagonal axis, so there, and then
it takes in an array. Illuminate matrix takes in an array of points.
Illuminate matrix takes in a matrix, which usually you're just going to supply it with an empty matrix, and then it also takes in an array of light positions. So where is that lamp located? Make sense?
Have you tested it with an array of 1?
What?
Have you tested it with an array of 1 light position?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have tested it with that. I can show you all the test cases for that. Actually, that's probably something I should look at. In fact, something that I was thinking of as I was talking about that is it might be good. Yeah. So here's all my test cases for Illuminate matrix. I've tested it with Illuminate. I need to move. Right now I have faces over my screen. So, okay, cool. So I have, so here's like my array of 1 point. I want to check it on a 5x5 because I think that that's what's breaking right now. I did check it with a 5x5, but maybe I should check it with 2 points on a 5x5. So
are the test cases for this whole thing, are they the 3 examples that are on the left side of the page?
There's a lot of test cases that I've written already. I've probably written a lot of code.
I'm talking about the official ones, though.
What do you mean?
When you go to that leak code, when you're on the actual like description of the problem.
So these test cases are not the official problems. Why? Because this is not the official function, right? The official function is this entire grid illumination function. So I wrote my own test cases for these helper functions that I made to make sure that these helper functions are handling edge cases appropriately. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So that's what I did. And what's nice about that is now, for example, I think the problem that I'm running into on my overall problem is because this grid illumination is breaking in a, I don't know that it's actually breaking though, because it's a 5x5. But what's cool about this is like, oh, okay. Oh, illuminate matrix 0, 2. That's right here. Oh no, that looks right. Yeah, see, all these look right to me so far. And I've done a fair bit of tests on just what this is. What's kind of cool about this is I'm doing process of elimination. So I'm asking myself, how does this thing behave in a bunch of different situations? And it looks like it's handling a lot of edge cases well. So part of me feels like this part of my code is golden. Like I'm really yesterday. I know that yesterday I left off with the feeling that I was just messing up something simple in here, but I don't know what it is yet. So I have to think about that. This whole code, like I'll walk through it just mentally, and then what I want to do is I want to walk through like the specific case that we're working on. I'm gonna like literally follow all the logic for it. So, okay, so the function is called grid illumination. It takes in n, which is a matrix. It takes in lamps, which is like query of where the lamps are, and then it takes in queries. Queries is going to be like the n is not a matrix. I apologize. N is a number representing the size of the matrix, but it's all going to be populated with zeros initially. It takes in queries, which queries are going to be like the spots that you are sampling. So what the strategy here is, first I'm just making a copy of lamps, so that way I'm not overwriting like the same address in memory. I might be able to get rid of this for performance reasons, but right now I'm less concerned about performance reasons and more about just getting the right solution. So I'm leaving this line of code in here for now because I think it makes it more like dependable. I did the same thing in my Illuminate matrix function, just so that way I'm severing all ties between this. I just realized something hilarious.
Do you want to share?
Oh wait, no. Am I changing light? No, never mind. That's fine. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to check something. But yeah, so I'm walking through here. This is my return value query responses, and what I'm doing is I'm going through all of these queries. And for each query, what I'm doing is first, I'm populating this grid, right? So this is like returning this part of things. So like I go through all of my lamps, right? So that's what this lamps copy is. And I did copy the lamps for a reason. So like right now, I basically said, okay, I'm going to close the door real quick.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
So when you turn a light on, are you just keeping it so that the elements are binary, so it's just 0 and 1?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'll let you continue, then I have an idea, but I'll let you go.
Okay, sure. So here, basically what I have is a grid. And this grid, what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, for right now, this grid equals, if I have that array of lamps, what should the illumination matrix look like? That's all that is. Then what I'm doing is I'm taking these query responses and I am pushing in like whatever the value of that grid is at that query. So if the query, for example, is at, oh, okay, my query is at 1, 1. It's like, what is the value there? That's all that does. And that basically goes in here. Then what I'm doing is I'm calculating, this gets me a grid of all of my adjacent indexes. What it does not return, just a little note about it, does not return the index that I'm at, right? Just to clarify, but I found a way to handle that edge case anyways. Then what I'm doing, you can ignore all these console logs for now. is I'm going through all of the adjacent indices, right? And what I am doing is I am changing lamps copy. So lamps copy is just an array of the lamps. I only made a copy of it so that way I'm not changing the original. But what this is doing is I'm filtering through all of these. So let's say my lamps, what I want to do is I want to get rid of any adjacent lamp, right? So this should theoretically get rid of any adjacent lamp because what I'm doing is I'm checking to see if, I'm wondering if the formatting should be the same with JSON.stringify.
Why do you have to stringify it?
So that's because in Node, this is a concept that usually we start teaching right around Mod 4, so that works out nicely. But in general, in JavaScript, there's a way of classifying data types between primitive and non-primitive. If we look at a non-primitive data type, well, let's look at a primitive data type first. Hello equals hello. What do we think this is going to output when I add this quote mark? I don't want to cheat. It's going to equal, what would you think? Does hello equal hello?
I would think that it's true, but maybe because they're different.
It is true. Because a string is a primitive data type. Another primitive data type, 1 equals 1. True. 8 equals 8. True. So let's look at a non-primitive data type. Array equals array. What do we think that's going to be? False. So an array you can think of as a reference to a space in memory. So even though these are both blank arrays, they're both blank arrays with references to different spots in memory. So that means that these are technically not equal to each other. And there's other things that happen with a non-primitive data type. So for example, this is like the thing that I'm trying to avoid. Let's say I do like let my array equals an array, and then let's go 1, 2, 3. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my shitty array copy is going to equal my array. Surely if I change my shitty array copy, I'm going to push, dot push, let's push a 4 onto there. Surely if I push it onto my copy, my array won't change, right? Oh shit, my array did change. Because when I set them equal to each other, it's actually referencing the same spot in memory. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the way that you get around that is, what do you do to an array to like sever that tie? Is what kind of like the way I think about this. Well, you turn it into a primitive data type. How do you turn it into a primitive data type? Turn it into a JSON string. So what about just look at JSON.stringify and then my array, right? Okay, that is literally just a string that is an array. That's all that it is, right? Nothing complex there. What you can do if you really want to make a copy of it is you do, how do you turn a string into a JavaScript object? You JSON.parse JSON.stringify my array. And now let's make this thing equal to my good copy.
What if you did a spread? I mean, would that be the same?
That works in some circumstances, and I'll show you exactly the circumstance. That's a great observation. I'm going to show you where it doesn't work, though. So if I do my good copy equals JSON.parse, now when I do my good copy, that's a really good point, though. I'm glad you said that. But if I do now my good copy dot push, I just want to show this for maybe someone else. If I do dot push 5 now, bam, if I look at my good copy, it does have a 5, but if I look at my array, it does not have that 5. So that just kind of proved that did sever the tie. And you are actually correct that a spread would work. Here's where a spread would not work. Let's do my complex array, and now make this thing equal to object. Let's just do name equals John. I don't know. Name equals Jack. right? This is going to be my complex array. And now I'm going to be my shitty complex array copy equals my complex array, right? Now we're going to do this. We're going to copy it. Bam. And now if I do my shitty complex array copy, right? And let me take the first, let's do 0 and then say dot name equals
well,
Jimmy, right? Now I'm going to go to my complex array. Hey, look, it changed my complex array as well. Why? Because basically what was happening was my shitty complex array was copying all of these values in memory. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and the objects named John and named Jack are their own objects in memory. So
exactly.
Whenever you change it in, okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense? So it's like this works great. The spread operator works great with a simple circumstance, does not work great with a complex circumstance.
Wait, if you were to create it with a spread operator and a slice, though, would that mean that if you change those objects, you'd be changing them everywhere?
I honestly never use. Oh yeah, do I use slice? Yes. Well, if you use a slice, you're not really changing the objects, right? You're referencing the same.
I'm saying if you use a slice, like let's say you slice out name Jack and then you change it, would it change in the higher scoped array?
Yes. Well, no, because these are just stored in there, right? So these are addresses stored in there. So if I slice one of these off, it doesn't actually change like the thing that I sliced off.
I'm saying if you were to, so like, let's say my shitty complex array copy was just a slice of my complex array. And then you did the my shitty complex array dot name, and then you changed that. Would that change it in the higher or like the higher scoped array? Does that make sense? So you've sliced.
Probably yes. I would think it would probably change it. Yeah, because if you slice it, you're saying, okay, slice it, and then one of this slice is still going to be referencing the same shit. I would think.
Yeah, that would be my assumption.
I disagree with that.
You disagree?
Yeah, because when you're slicing stuff out, or getting a slice is exactly the same as pulling something out by index or whatever. Like they're just the things that were in the array. So if it was an array of primitives, strings or whatever, that slice would be a slice of primitives. And if you change, because the slice returns a new array, right?
So let's test this. So let's say I'm here. I do my complex array dot slice, and then let's just say I want to index the first element and then change it. So I'll say dot name.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Equals Jeff. Okay. Now we're gonna look at my complex array, and it did switch to Jeff.
It did change it.
That was just a guess. I don't know. I guess that is what it does.
Because the thing that you're slicing is a reference.
Exactly.
Yeah. If that was full of numbers or strings, then that would not change.
Correct. Okay. I might have misunderstood that question then. That's my bad.
No, that was my question. My question was dealing with the non-primitive data types. Yeah, that was my question.
Oh, yeah. Then you're just grabbing that by reference like normal, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was just trying to think of a way around it other than changing it to stringifying JSON data and then.
Yeah, I mean that's the easiest way to do it. Like y'all were saying, doing the spread and whatnot works as long as you don't have more reference types down there. Then you have to do that multiple times. But if you have an arbitrary data structure, then JSONing it and JSONifying it is probably the easiest way to go.
Cool. Great.
I think that there's like technically faster ways of doing it that I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't care about faster. It's JavaScript. If I wanted fast, I'd write in C.
There you go. I appreciate like just that perspective from someone that knows what they're talking about.
That's my 3 rules. As first, rule 1, make it work. Rule 2, make it pretty. Rule 3, make it fast. And I don't care.
Mark, I'm totally gonna wind up saying that in an interview and pretend like I know C. I'm just gonna be like, yeah. I'm gonna do this here. If I wanted to make it fast, I would do it in C.
Oh, I said go, I
Just
guess now.
completely ignore the fact that I've never written a line of C in my life.
Cannot recommend.
All right, I'm gonna get back to this problem because I am eager to solve it. So let's see. My problem that I'm facing is with a specific test case. And what we're gonna do is just walk through it. I'm gonna walk through each line of code, see how it will go. And sometimes slow is fast with this stuff. So cool. I need another bite of this apple. This is a great apple. So right now it's my third test case that's not working. Bam. So these are the inputs that's breaking it. According to their problem statement, it should equal 110, and I tested it out, and I do agree. But what I need to do is like walk through why. So what I'm gonna do, just so I have some reference here, is I'm just gonna make a matrix of, what is it, 5 by 5?
Yeah.
One thing that does suck about just everything being remote now is that it's honestly, if there's one thing I could complain about, I'm literally only doing this so that way it automatically formats. If there's one thing I can complain about, it's that it's hard to whiteboard. Cool.
Yeah, that's the number one thing that I miss.
Yeah, whiteboarding is hard. I'm not gonna lie. Whiteboarding is hard. I think it's easier to type stuff out and change numbers than to whiteboard. Like I've tried using AWW app, but I'm too slow at it. It winds up being inhibiting, not helping. For me at least. So this is my matrix going in. The first thing are the array of lamps. So that means I'm gonna have a lamp at 0, 0 and 0, 4. Which means that my matrix is going to look something like this. I'm going to do this one. I don't know why I'm doing it in this order, but this order doesn't really make sense that I'm doing it in, to be 100% honest. I'm going to need to get that. Oh, whoops. Here, here, here. Am I missing anything? I think that's good. So this is what my matrix should look like. Does anybody disagree with that?
It's just me now. And I wasn't really paying attention because I'm looking at this myself. So that's what it'd be after you did both 0, 0 and 0, 4 as on.
Mm-hmm. So this is what my grid looks like at this line of code. Then what will happen is we are first going to query at 0, 4.
Wouldn't, oh wait, 0, when
At
it's
0, 4, that's going to turn off this light, right? When this light is turned off, this still stays a 1 actually, because it's still being illuminated from here. But what I do lose, I lose
Isn't
this.
0, 4 the bottom left one? Isn't the one that you're doing? Isn't that?
No, 0, 4 is right here. So this is row 1, row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3. Oh, also I just realized this is not a 5 by 5. This is a, yeah, I need to fix that so we can draw through this properly. This is a 4.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's row 0, then the light would be the bottom right, the bottom left corner. That's 0, 4.
No. It counts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, exactly. So 0.
Oh, you're calling it bottom left. That's 0 and then 1, 2, 3, or I'm sorry, 0 and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right there.
Okay, I got that back.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that's my bad. Okay, so that changes stuff. So it's A.
So I'm going to redraw this problem. And literally just start from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So I have one here, and I have one here. Bam. That means this is going to be lit. This is going to be lit. This is going to be lit. This. This. Diagonal. This. That should be everything. Cool. So, again, first query is at 0, 4. So that's right here. Okay, so at that point, whoa. At this point, query equals, excuse me, or response. I'm just gonna say result. Is going to equal, first I'm gonna dump in a 1. Cool. Then I'm gonna run through, and any lamp around or near this is going to be shut off. So that means this lamp is going to be shut off. This is still going to be lit by this lamp, but I have to shut off this.
No, not that one. 4, 4 should still be lit because of.
You're right. This. And that should do it.
Yep, that looks good.
That looks good. Then I have to go through and say, okay, my next point is 0, 1. So that's this guy. So that is still lit. So I should have a 1. But then, okay, I see the problem here. Then I should be shutting off this guy. Right? So then that shuts off everything. And I should get a 0. So yeah, whatever I'm doing is definitely wrong. I agree with their solution being correct. So I'm getting the wrong solution for sure. I agree with that. Now the question is, can we pinpoint it? And I think maybe what's happening is this line of code is not working. I just found it, dude. Lamb's copy equals lamb's copy.filter. Let's see if that passes my test. I am going to fucking die if that passes the test.
You're gonna die? Don't do that.
Die out of happiness.
Die.
So to run these tests, I just do npm run test. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. This is gonna be great if that works. That's hilarious. That was it. That was it, buddy.
Worked?
I think so.
Sick.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So is it running on the third test case? I think that was it, dude. So now all I would need to do is copy over this function. I'm going to leave those console logs in there until I actually pass the leak code tests. So I'm going to go to the leak code. And I am going to highlight here, paste. You know what? Let's see. See if that worked. No, that didn't work. I'm just going to delete it and then redo it. So I'm going to go here. And I am going to go here. And obviously, I'm going to get rid of those console logs if it does pass. Yank. Go here. Paste. Nice. Does it pass? Run the code. Accepted.
Oh.
The thing is, it's got more test cases when I hit the submit button.
Oh, it's like Code Wars.
Yep. Keep out of memory. I am going to try just changing this to, I'm just going to say, this is going to be a hacky way of doing it for now. I'm just going to say let lamps copy equal lamps. And then here I am going to say I think that it's the semi-space copy allocation failed. I think it's out of memory because I'm copying too much. So I'm just going to say lamps copy equals lamps. This is kind of like what I was worried about failing maybe a test here, because it looks like it's probably working on some huge problem.
10,000.
Yeah, 1,000 terms.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought I might run into some problem like this. I'm going to try just getting rid of all those kinds of things. So I'm going to, instead of saying matrix copy, I am just going to say, I don't think this will be a huge refactor. I think this will work. This is definitely not good code, but I'm curious if it passes their runtime tests.
You have to justify it to me.
Yeah, see, now it's actually, let matrix equal matrix. Oh yeah, matrix copy. Let's see. No, but I think it's worth talking about how this is not a good solution. I'm just trying to see if I could pass this thing. Nope,
Well,
out of memory.
That's
Of
crazy.
course, that happens with a 10,000 term array. So, I mean, I have never actually run into a memory allocation failure before. So I'm curious what that means. I want to look a little bit into it more. JavaScript. What?
I said that's more of a C problem running out of memory. So you should bring Mark back in.
No, I think. I'm curious how I would run it. This is just curious for me. I'm curious if I would run into the same problem. So they do show me the test case that this is happening on. It's this. View all. Yep, this is the problem that they're giving me.
It's a crazy fucking test case.
Yes, it is.
Should we write it out, do you think?
Welcome to leak code. Well, the good news is I could just copy this and then just do some editing on it. So now we're going to do grid illumination. It should work on a fucking ridiculous test case. And now I'm going to have to refactor some stuff. So yeah, here we go. And this is where, okay, this could be a lot longer than it takes to pass this.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Welcome to leak code.
I'm here.
This is running weird. There it goes. Oh God, this is running slow. So I'm going to say n equals this. For some reason in jest, you don't need to declare the thingy. This thing is going to be, this actually works out nicely. I like the way this formats. See how much slower it's running, by the way, with a lot of text?
Yeah.
That's maybe why people don't use VS Code Vim, I think. I'm going to call this lamps equals that. And then queries equals that. I am curious if this will break. So now what I need to do is run this. The expected value
Should be at the bottom of the.
I don't know if they actually give the expected value. I wonder if I could just say expected to not break. I think that actually might be a thing.
That's a solid movement of goalposts, I think.
Expect just to not throw error.
What's jest?
You might actually just be able to do expect grid illumination. Of n lamps queries. That might just do the trick because it might just break.
Bless you.
Thank you. I think you could do to not be, to not throw. Oh fuck! I hate that it formatted this way. Whatever. Cool. Expect it not to. Is there a to throw?
I can look it up if you want. There it is.
Not to throw. That might do the trick. We'll find out when this decides to run in a year.
Do you think? I'll wait until you're done, and I'll ask this question.
I mean, I'm waiting for that to run anyways.
All right. So the reason why I asked you earlier about the binary 1 and 0 is, don't you think that another way that you can go about doing this problem is that because it doesn't need on or off are obviously the only two options, but couldn't you have it so that you can have like a different number be for the whatever the second parameter is for the test? So for example, given the one that we just did, like if you had 0, 0 and 0, 4 equal 2, like have those be 2 and then use that as a way to find the adjacent ones.
I'm not sure what you mean. Hang on, let me check to see if I can.
It would have to be a visual thing. So don't worry about it. You obviously what you've done is.
I'm not even getting the results, which is interesting. Why are 5 skipped? Is there an only on here? Oh, that's why. There it goes. Okay. Did it run all of them? Nope, it's still running that. 12, 13, 14. I wonder what percentage of these tests I've passed.
Probably most of them.
It's running for 35 seconds. Holy shit balls. This is pretty nuts. So 52 seconds it's running. Interesting. I'm trying to think of optimizations here. I don't know if there's a whole lot of optimizations I could do without a huge refactor, I will say.
I can't call it.
I'm going to put... I'm also wondering if there's a way to like clear memory. This is way deeper than my understanding.
There are 1,700 questions.
Like, can I throw this flag on there and make it work?
Why not?
This is like very foreign to me, this kind of algorithm problem. This thing is still running after 174 seconds. Holy shit. How many terms is this? 869. 67. Okay. There's hundreds of terms there.
800. 801. 2? I was confused with that.
Look at that shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's still running after 200 seconds. So I'm wondering, maybe someone has a solution for a leak code thing, because I'm curious. I've never had to deal with allocating memory before.
That was something that they touched on briefly in one of the free courses I took prior to this boot camp. Because I was in C. It was crazy. It was weird. Yeah, Valgrind, that was exactly what the thing was. And all. Shit.
I mean, whatever reason, my thing is memory intensive. I'm guessing it has to do with the fact that I'm making a 10,000 by 10,000 matrix every single time. How can I avoid that?
For each one of them.
I don't actually know how to make that. You know what? Maybe we can request a Kyle class.
Above my pay grade at this point in time.
You know what, though? I'm happy with just passing this to the
We-
extent in which I did. So what I'll probably do, I'm going to undo those changes that I had. And I am going to submit it for now and then hit the discussion. I feel like it's probably worth recognizing when something is out of your scope. I'm pretty sure this is out of my scope.
Limitations, that's a skill.
Yeah. So interesting. I'm going to call this out of my scope. Oh, whoops. That's what I'm going to do here. Yep. That's what I'm going to say. I know this is not efficient, so I know this could be cleaned up. Like maybe something like this. This is something that I know I could do. I don't know that this will actually make it pass any more tests. And JSON.stringify lamp does not equal. What actually would be better would be this. Lamp. And then I could say this would probably be lamp string does not equal that, and lamp string does not equal JSON.stringify
Right. Sorry.
the query. I don't think that that's going to get it to pass, though. That just gets rid of one more filter each time. On my code, make sure it passes the local test. I don't want to do the submit again because I think there's a limit to how many times you can submit it. I'm trying to think of other spots that I can test. I want to leave this.
Why do you need to have the grid be made every single time? Why don't you take that out and just have it be the same and then have it be input after each turn? Like
Good question. That's a really good question, but you can't because. So I had thought about that. But when you think about it, what I didn't want to do, which maybe you can do, that I just didn't do, was think of the math behind, let's say I have two grids. I don't even know that it's possible, actually. Let's talk about this, though. Whoops. Let's say these are my two lamps right now, right?
Okay.
Okay. Say I get rid of this lamp. Which ones do I get rid of?
That's the first move.
Yep.
All right. So for that one, you would also get rid of that one.
Why?
You get rid of that one because that was illuminated by the 041 and not the 001.
Okay, how about this one? Do I get rid of this one?
That one stays because that was illuminated by the 001.
Right. So that means I have to ask, is this one illuminated by another lamp? Right?
So that's what I would that's where my theory came in.
But think about all the logic that takes.
I know you've passed too many tests for it to go back that far. It's still running.
Well, no, it's not just that I've passed too many tests. Think of all the math that it would take to calculate, is this spot illuminated by another lamp? Is this spot illuminated by another lamp? Is this spot illuminated by another lamp? I don't think it's that much more calculations. It might be, I don't know. It might be less calculations to do it that way. I guess what you could do is make an is illuminated. That could save memory, but that'd be.
Could you just humor me while I try to talk this through?
Sure.
All right. So do you mind making 00 and 04, just turn them into 2s?
A 2? Oh, you're saying a 2 is like a.
The 2 is the light that's on, and then the adjacent ones, those are only turned on because of the 2, correct?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So if you have that so if that's a 2 also, but you also need to turn it off, then
you change this to being a 1.
That'll just be a 1.
And then and then you could recalculate.
You recalculate it based on what lamps are on, as opposed to the adjacent ones. Figure out what lamps are on, and that's all you need. I mean, this is
I guess my question is this less memory? Because that's a cool idea. Is this less memory than just saying, oh, okay, 00 is on. Let me calculate all those. Because how would you do it? Let's say I had a lamp here, and a lamp here. Is there any way to make it more efficient than how I'm doing it? Where it's like, oh, okay, I'm starting here, and then I go bam, 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 cool. Like, I still ultimately would have to go here and draw all that shit out anyways.
No, that's true. I mean, this is my first time looking at it, so
no, that's a really cool way of solving it. I like that. Don't get me wrong.
No, for sure. I
just don't understand how to work with it from there. Like, I think I would be doing a whole lot of work to basically do the exact same thing is all.
It's true. And honestly, I'm not familiar enough with your code in order to like, try and operate on it because that's not.
I guess what I don't understand is you would still have to go through each of these and recalculate everything. Like it wouldn't change that you'd have to go into this matrix and change a bunch of stuff. You'd still have to do that.
Yeah, there would have to be matrix manipulation.
Because what I guess you could do is here's where I could see a performance benefit. I like drawing that out that way though, at the very least. Let's say this is a 2. I change this to a 1. Okay. Cool. So what I could do now is I can, rather than redraw all of the lamps and check all of the positions, what I could do is only for each position here. So for example, let's say I want to check this position. What I could do is I can iterate and see, oh, okay, is there another lamp on this row? If so, keep it a 1. And then I don't actually have to go through all of the lamps to reevaluate this position. But then the thing is, I have to do that for every position. And that might be just as expensive.
I was also thinking about how complicated it would be if, obviously, 0, 0, and 0, 4 are pretty convenient, specifically with the diagonals. Like if you had like 1, 1, 2, like that shit would suck.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting problem. What I think I'm going to do is go to my grid illumination and see if there's any things I could just refactor. So like, pretty sure I can do what I did in there and still pass all my tests.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to do this thing is still running after 902 seconds.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, this is not going to save that, but this could be, and JSON, no, I want to do
I'm listening.
lamp string equals
This has been a lovely way to start my morning. I was also fucking around. I started rewatching Silicon Valley, which I never finished in real time, and it has a totally different meaning now that I like somewhat know what they're talking about. They're making like scrum jokes and stuff. I was like, I saw that shit however many years ago. I had no idea what any of this stuff meant. It was probably just a parody. I thought it was a parody, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of that test case because it's not running. So let's see.
It's running too much.
Yep.
Where do I want to be by the end of today? Canvas is so much better for this mod.
Yeah, it's nice for React. I only did one Learn Lab with React.
By the end of this lesson, we'll have built.
Oh my God, it's Christine's voice.
Stop
And
it.
hopefully everyone here will be able to identify
So cool, my test case is still passing.
their syntax.
Bless you.
So
I'm iterating through each light position, getting the diagonal index, getting the cross index. Like, I know that there's small optimizations I can make that I don't feel like digging into deeper.
what is React? What's in React? JavaScript and HTML?
Yes, nice.
Let's see.
Class components.
HTML. It looks like HTML, but it's technically not. Anyone know what?
What's the syntax?
Yes,
What
yes,
idiots?
yes.
They don't know it's a JSX. Oh my God.
So if I'm in create matrix,
Anything, but it definitely is very, very similar to
there's
HTML.
not a lot I could do here. That's the thing.
What else?
I feel like I could probably optimize this create matrix method. Like my hunch is that doing a for loop
Use it to make our apps more
is
modular.
not efficient.
Do you think? Well, this might be.
Because I think that there's,
When you say
I think I
modular,
could do an array constructor here.
implying.
Well, because we're not
What are we
fucking
actually
around with
using?
the twos and ones, and because you're
Is
doing it
that
as a binary, why don't you just make it?
Could you pause that video you're watching? I cannot hear.
Oh, I'm
Actually
watching.
not.
I'm watching that. I thought that was you.
No, I was like confused. My bad.
I don't know how it got to that. Okay, I apologize. I don't know why I was watching that. So what if you change it instead of zeros and ones to a Boolean true or false on off? That would save memory. I think our Booleans doesn't that take up less memory and space than?
I do not believe so.
Okay, well then.
Worth a look.
No, they take up the exact same.
There's that.
Nice that they keep it consistent at least.
I really don't want to rewrite this, but rewriting this could offer performance benefits, I would think. Because the problem is here, I'm running 2 if statements, 2 if statements, 2 if statements, 2 if statements, or not 2 each time, but I might be able to refactor this to where it's more efficient. But I think I'm going to call it, to be honest, because, and plus that I'm doing a filter on it each time. This is definitely not efficient, but it's clean. I like the way it looks. It's just not efficient. Like, what I think would be better than doing this is doing like if I is greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1, and j is greater than or equal to 1. Then do like result dot push blah 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 blah. I think that would be, it would definitely save the amount of if statements there for sure. Because right now what I'm doing is I'm shoveling in all of these. I'm just also adding an empty array that I'm filtering out. So that means each time I am grabbing adjacent lines, right?
Yeah.
That means each time I'm grabbing adjacent lines, I'm going through all 8 of these steps. And that could be a lot faster. But still, I don't think that's the thing that's slowing it down. I don't know. This cross indices one looks clean, I think.
I like it.
I don't know. Let's see. For I equals, I'm iterating through all of these. If I equals the point, then I'm iterating through it. Else, I'm pushing it. That's actually, I think, about as clean as you can get. Because there's really no other way of doing it that I could think of. I'm not iterating. Like, this is actually, I know this is a good one because I'm not iterating over everything. And honestly, part of me thinks that this is not a huge deal either because it's like, what, 8 steps?
Excuse me. Ooh.
Bless you.
I'm not sick. I don't have COVID. My dad just had COVID, actually. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
He's fine.
I think what I'm going to do is call it. I think I'm going to call it and just say, you know what? If I don't pass that edge case with like 10,000 arrays, I'm still happy with my solution. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm wondering if there's a way for me to submit this, though. Let's see.
Are these questions, do they progress by difficulty?
Yeah, this is a hard. I've never even worked on a hard before, so this is my first
I
time.
know, 1,001 Dalmatians. That's a nice number.
Oh shit! Now it's not working anymore. I gotta fix that. Here I'm passing all the tests.
Would it benefit you if I left you be?
No, I'm calling it, so I'm done. I'm gonna call this, and then I think, which is the one that's failing right now? Let's see. There's something wrong with my test cases here. Hang on a second. 966.0. 966. Unexpected semicolon. What? I'm just gonna hit undo a bunch of times because I don't need that edge case.
The classic. I do this shit all the time. It's like I should have committed.
It won't even let me undo because there's just too much. Hold up. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Holy shit. Holy shit. Cool. Oh, that was supposed to say only. Good. There we go. See if I'm passing all those tests. Cool. Is there anything huge here? Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this test case because just too slow.
When did you begin learning TDD?
Not till way after I was a student. But I think it's doing this kind of TDD is honestly easy. It's not like typically when you hear about TDD, it's like not this. It's like on a browser, and this is like this
Just
shit
copy
is
and pasting what they had on the website.
okay. I see why people prefer this. Literally is probably why people complain about Vim mode in VS Code. I am curious because right now I don't even have access to Vim mode. I don't even know what it's doing. I cannot save. Save. Money says I wind up going back to NeoVim after this.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what Vim. Couldn't even tell you what Vim is either.
Vim is just the text editor that I use. Well, right now I'm using VS Code with Vim bindings.
I haven't really experimented much with like different setups and stuff. Probably should.
Cool. Let's see if that still runs. I just want to make sure my code runs the base case tests. Yeah, this is ridiculous. That's crazy. Cool, I pass everything. So that just tells me what I need to do is I need to just grab this. And swap it out. Because I don't know why this isn't passing. Okay, run code. After this passes all the way up until that breaking point, I'm calling it. Wrong answer is what I'm getting now. Fuck me. I am curious if this is a different edge case though. Like, is this a different one from before? Lamp string. What did I have before?
So before you had you made the lamps copy be outside of that whole for loop.
Yep. It wasn't a for loop that it was out of. Whoops. It was this. It was lamps copy equals lamps copy dot filter, and I'm looking for the lamp where JSON.stringify query does not equal JSON.stringify lamp. That was what that was. And then here, that should work. There's a limited amount of submits that LeetCode lets you do, which is annoying. Fuck. What was my code from before? Good old undo. I'm getting frustrated as hell here.
No, I know it goes.
So I gotta test this end case. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So let's just do another one. I don't know what test case this is. I don't think this is one that I tested yet. It should work on a size of 1. Oh, interesting. I don't think I ever actually tested this. 0, 0, 0, 0. That's what it was, right? 0, 0, 0, 0. To equal, what is it? 1, 0. This seems reasonable.
Why is it taking longer this time?
Should work on the first test case. This is not what this is. Should work on 0 on 1 dimensional. What am I getting? Hi. Let's see. Let me console.log this value. One thing that's cool about this is I should be able to just do oh wait, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. Right here. So what am I getting as a value? I think I'm probably getting. I'm getting 1, 1. So why am I getting 1, 1? That means I'm not. Oh, let's see. I'm going over my grid, illuminating the matrix. That's fine. It's doing what it should do if it's a 1. Cool. Lamps copy dot filter. So I'm returning I'm gonna console.log my lamps. Whoops. Holy shit. This really is going slow. Zero, zero, 4, 4. What? Oh, wait, it's this one. 0, 0. So that means the first go around is 0, 0. And then the second go around, it's also 0, 0, which is not good. That's no bueno. Oh, that's going for each query. So that makes sense. Hey, buddy. I need to say, so my problem is, this is where it helps to use that only. So if I only want to test if I only want to see the output from this one, if I put only on this, it only runs that one, which is sweet.
That's
so
good.
now
That's good to know.
only looking at the output. Yeah. Cool. So that means first go around it was 0, 0. Second go around it was 0, 0. Third go around it was 1, 1. What? Dude, you gotta chill, bud. And I don't see where the 1, 1 came from. Oh, wait, no, that's the value. See, this is what I don't understand. Console.log. I'm just gonna say lamps.
Which it should be 1, 0, right?
That should be 1, 0. But
Okay.
the thing is that yes, this should log twice because I'm going through each query. But the second time it logs, oh, whoops. The second time this logs, it should be an empty array. That's the problem. So you see how this is logging here, and this should be an empty array because I should be filtering out. So I should be filtering out query. And then query. So watch, my query should be 0, 0, right?
Yeah.
So
It is.
yeah, so why isn't it filtering out? We can call this lamps before filter, and then just do lamps after filter. Whoops. Because that just means that it's not filtering out. Lamps before filter, my query is that, my lamps after the filter. So it's not querying that out. So I need to filter all my lamps. My lamp string equals that. So for each lamp, I'm stringifying that. And it cannot equal the JSON.stringify the query. Huh.
Is it because you're doing the filter for each adjacent indice? Is that why?
No. I don't think. So I need to say,
Twice.
that means that this is returning true each time. So let's say query string is 0, 0. Now I'm returning, so I'm filtering out only if the lamp string does not equal the lamp string of one of those indexes, one of those adjacent indexes. And oh, I see. Right. No. Because this is false. So that means that this whole thing should equal false. So I don't understand. I want to console.log. Am I crazy? Console.log this line. Let's see. Because this basically should be equaling false each time. I'm not getting true or false to log.
It didn't even hit.
Maybe the false just doesn't log. Whoops. God damn it. Does equal. Oh, you know what? I think I never saved. We'll find out.
No, still no.
Wait, there's a reason why that's not hitting, I think. Because my lamps copy is not hitting nothing.
That's
Why
weird.
is it not hitting this is my question. Okay, so I'm going for each. Oh, there's no adjacent indices. That's why.
Oh, because it's because it's a 1 by 1.
Yup. So
Lamb's copy
that's why it worked before.
because Lamb's copy wasn't in that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it worked before. I still think it will save time though. So what I'm going to do is if adjacent indices dot length is greater than 0, do this. I think this could save time. Else I need to just do this. I mean, this is a small edge case, but and now query is just going to be query indexed at 0. Queries indexed at 0. Up. Because I still need, oh wait, no, query is still valid.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I only need this line. Return lamp string. That should do the trick. Pass.
Nice.
Cool. So I'm going to do cool. Isn't it amazing how long it could take to debug simple shit?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to paste this here. Nope. I want to bring that back. Delete all that. Oh, fuck you, fucking fucker. This should really be indented. Nope, I did that wrong. There we go. That should be indented. So let's see if this runs here. Run code. Submit. And hopefully I'll run into that memory problem again.
There we go.
Yep.
Nice.
And I'm not going to worry about that. That is beyond my scope of understanding. So
At
we
this
are
point, at this point in time, give you a week. In a week, you got it.
yeah. How do I submit it? Details. I wonder what percentage of tests that I pass. 26 out of 45? Are you fucking kidding me? That pisses me off.
But do you think that's only because it got held up there and they couldn't even run the last however many, 18?
I don't know. I feel like maybe they get even harder.
Damn.
That's nuts.
I will.
Yep, we're rolling with it. That's all we got for now.
Well,
Cool.
It was a pleasure watching you. Thank you for
There's my
explaining.
attempt to solve a hard problem on LeetCode.
I'm just happy to have been able to witness it. I was wrong a couple times about references and stuff like that.
Bro, I liked your ideas. I liked your thought process.
Oh, no. I was talking about what Jack was talking about with the object and coming through, because that was I was thinking about more basic data structures. But
All right.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Later, dude. I'm ending it here.
Fuck, man.
Peace.